In this video we give a brief overview of the Lorentz conference, the road to fair and equitable science. Exactly 10 years ago there was another Lorentz conference called Jointly Designing a Data Fairport, where the FAIR principles originated. Now, 10 years later, we review the FAIR developments during this decade with 55 experts from around the world and consider the challenges ahead of us for the next 10 years. The hourglass image on the poster is a reference to the Internet model, which taught us to concentrate on minimal joint standards and protocols, i.e. the center of the hourglass, with maximum freedom to operate both at the infrastructure level and the application level. For the Internet, commonly agreed standards and protocols are usually referred to as TCP/IP. In the context of the web of fair data and services, the minimal core element in the waist of the hourglass is machine actionability. Within the hourglass, we see that in some way the world is upside down. But an hourglass is turned around again at some point, so everything is in place again. We decided on this design because we believe the global north and south should mutually contribute to this web of fair data and services as well as mutually benefit from it. We should not increase the digital divide, but rather close the gap. This focus is also reflected in the term equitable in the title of the conference. The conference runs for 5 days. The first day of the conference we will reflect on the first decade of FAIR and we will scope the discussions we want to have in the subsequent days. On days 2 to 4 we will discuss 3 related topics. Machine actionability at the center of the hourglass, equitable access to data and services, which is explicitly not addressed in the FAIR principles, and finally fully AI-ready data, where any AI type model will benefit from the best machine actionable data to feed and train it. On day 5 we will invite additional participants from many different disciplines and backgrounds to jointly look forward to the next 10 years. For each day we will create a short video to summarize the day's results, which will be also shared with interested people online. On Monday we will reflect on how FAIR developed during the previous 10 years. We will also discuss a high over and broad view on what we believe is important for the next 10 years. Then we will finalize the scope and goals for the rest of the conference. The day ends with a reception. On Tuesday we will focus on machine actionability, which we consider core to the FAIR principles, as was already emphasized in the abstract of the seminal FAIR article that came out in 2016. We will consider how machine actionability goes beyond machine readability. The essence being that computational agents must be able to independently work with data and related services. Then we will review the currently existing approaches to machine actionability that have been developed within the context of FAIR in the past decade. Based on these examples, we will clearly define different levels of machine actionability. Finally, we will discuss how we could achieve convergence towards a number of commonly agreed minimal specifications for machine actionability at the center of the hourglass. On Wednesday, we will focus on equitable access to data and their reuse. This goes beyond machine actionability itself as defined in the FAIR principles. It addresses the higher level principle whether anyone, be it a person or a computational agent, with a legitimate question that is not violating valid consent or security levels, should be able to reuse FAIR data on equal terms. We will review existing approaches and challenges that relate to equitable data access and reach consensus on defining precisely what we mean by equitable access and reuse. Finally, we will discuss how achieving equitability can be enabled by adhering to the FAIR principles, where accessibility conditions should be machine actionable themselves and clearly spelled out. These conditions can be then reviewed and potentially challenged both by machines and people. On Thursday we will focus on a topic closely related to fair and equitable access, namely the accelerating developments in artificial intelligence, such as machine and deep learning, large language models, and so forth. In the last few years, we experienced key issues associated with the use of AI, such as legal access to the underlying data, including copyright infringement, or how we can constrain AI models to ensure that they do not hallucinate or produce misinformation. We will discuss how FAIR can help to create fully AI-ready data that is formatted for machines so that they can optimally reuse it and learn from it. Also, constraining conditions, such as through FAIR conceptual models, will be reviewed to improve the outputs of AI models. Finally, we will then zoom in on achieving FAIR in small letters AI, including equitable and trustworthy models and how the FAIR principles can contribute to AI of high quality. On the final day, we will look forward to the next 10 years. We have invited additional stakeholders from the public and private sector, and we will jointly review the main outcome of the conference: the proposed decadal roadmap towards fair and actable science. We will also take some joint decisions on publication and desired next steps. We hope this video message has informed you about the goals and the scope of the Lorentz conference you are about to attend. Please have a look at the working document and the developing roadmap, to which you can already contribute right now. The links are in the description to this video. You can also contact us for questions on logistics or the content of the conference. We look forward to seeing you all and having a great and productive time together.